Welcome back, and this short final video of this section I want to use to remind you of something very, very important. So far we've been looking at creating rhythms by punching notes or blobs or blocks into a MIDI score. And we've been having lots of fun, and I hope, and talking a lot about what this all means and how we can go about creating some interesting rhythms. We've discussed working off the grid, we've discussed tension and release. Something that is very, very easy to forget is that rhythm is an intrinsically human experience. In many cases, it might be something very, very dear to our hearts and something that is instantly accessible. We talked before about how a club beat might be reflective of the heartbeat or other natural phenomena. And I think it's important to remember that while melody and harmony might have cultures or ideas attached to them at different times in history, rhythm is something that we can communicate with quite easily and is something maybe that comes first. That's an anthropological discussion and something I'm not at all qualified to teach you any more about, but rhythm is something human. So why am I telling you this? Well, in this case, I have a microphone that I'm talking to you through, and something we often forget to do when we sit down and start going into MIDI land is that we know about rhythm. We can already create rhythm even if we're not a particularly good drummer. I'm just going to put on my metronome then, turn the speed down a bit, and I'm just going to hit record with my microphone and tap along. Okay, so here I have created a 4-bar loop. Let's listen to it. As you can see from the audio, I have terrible time and I have some latency in my computer as well. In many programs, we can cheat by quantizing the audio so it all fits on the grid. And I might want to give that some reverb and some compression just to make it a bit easier to listen to as we go through this example. Okay, so now I've tapped that along, I'm going to create another track, set that to record, and record another tapping. Once again, I will quantize, so that means move things automatically to the grid. And in this case, maybe I'll do something funky and put some overdrive on it and some more reverb. Let's see what that sounds like. Okay, so if I then go back to our drum machine and just put a nice kick underneath on every beat, all of a sudden, I have a rhythmic structure. In all DAWs, we can manipulate audio. So I might just make this second part twice as fast. Okay, there we go. I would have never come up with this rhythm by going in here and being clever with my mouse and my keyboard. This just came naturally to me, and as I repeat, I am a terrible drummer. I don't really have the ability to execute rhythmic ideas like a drummer can, but I can fake it till I make it, and with a bit of help from the computer, I can make sure everything at least is kind of in time. And all of a sudden, in no time at all, I've created a beat that, yes, I would not have made if I just sat down with an empty MIDI track and started drawing in things on the grid. I wasn't even thinking of a grid, I was just hitting my hands. So this might seem like a silly point, but I believe it's actually vital. It's very easy, as we get better and better at using a computer, to forget that we are the human beings and we have an intrinsic idea of rhythm. We can easily capture that with technology that we have today, and we can easily integrate that into our ideas, just like I've done today. So I encourage you to recreate this lesson, to sit down and to practice plugging in a mic, hitting the metronome with your headphones on, tapping away, recording what you get, and then adding a underlying pulse to it and seeing if you've created something that is more interesting or at least surprising compared to what we've done before. Have fun, and I'll see you next time.